think that's enough of that. Kai, come here. Kai.
You've got to fit, Kai. You've got to fit on.
So one of the questions we get asked a lot is how much it costs to live this lifestyle. Living in a motorhome, van, whatever you call it. So we thought we'd put together a video basically showing you and breaking down how the minimum we have to earn. Obviously we both work on the road, but we wanted to share like the minimum it actually costs us to keep this lifestyle sustainable. So we're just gonna literally we've got the laptop set up here, and we're just gonna run through it and talk you guys through like the different expenses we've got coming out and some of the things you've got to take into consideration when you live in this kind of lifestyle. The first thing we've broken down is our bills. So this is pretty much everything from the motorhome insurance to our travel and healthcare. We're having child issues here. Yes, hello. But we're trying to talk on the camera. And the first thing I've got written down is motorhome insurance, which we pay to insure this motorhome fully. We pay about £64 a month. The motorhome insurance is with a company called Brentaker Insurance, which is based in South Wales. And I spent months looking around for insurance of people who would actually cover us to travel outside of the UK for over 3 months, I think it is. Most companies will only cover you for like 30, 60 or 90 days. But these guys covered us for about, I think it's just under a year. So we've still got to go back to the UK, which is fine because we obviously need the motorhome taxing and MOT and stuff. So it works pretty well in our favour. You can do the next one because it's just your main priority one.
The most important things, phone.
And internet. Our combined phone and internet bill is about £67 a month.
That's because I'm paying off my phone as well.
Yeah, so we'll
so mine's about like 49 with lots of internet.
Yeah, so Amanda's paying, what are you paying, 49 a month for a phone bill?
And 20 gig of data.
20 gig of data. And I obviously already have my phone, but for some unknown reason I managed to find a deal that I pay about £18 a month this is with Virgin, and I get like 80 gigs of data which rolls over. This is great for when we're working on the road, obviously, because sometimes we're in places that doesn't have internet or a cafe that doesn't have Wi-Fi, so we just literally whip our phones out, connect the laptops to the hotspot, and away we go. If Amanda ever runs out because she's been on Instagram too much, she can jump on my hotspot because it's literally impossible to use 80 gig of data that rolls over. It's like impossible.
Travel and health insurance, 40 per month, although we paid it all off before.
Yeah.
Before we came anyway, so we don't really worry about that.
Which covers us for. It's a funny travel insurance, isn't it? So
it's like a backpacker's insurance.
It's a backpacker insurance, and it's with a company called Holiday Safe. I'll put all the descriptions of all this in the links below so you can check it out. But this insurance works backwards almost. So if you're from the UK, we're only allowed back into the UK for the year if we're covered by this insurance for like 4 weeks, is it? A year?
We have 2 trips back to the UK each, 21 days each.
Yeah, so we can spend about 40 days a year in the UK to make sure we're being covered by this insurance, which is a bit funny, but that's the only way we could get around it, by spending this long away from the UK. And that's like the basic bills, and they come to about 170 quid. £170 a month I've got written on the screen. So we've got another category called, we've just categorised it as other, which is basically like all the, don't really need this stuff, but we have it anyway, so.
What's it really fast? Spotify, Epidemic Sounds, Amazon Prime, gym membership, gym coach, Netflix.
Yeah, so that comes to about another £135 a month. So we don't need all this stuff, but I use some of the stuff. Epidemic Sounds is what I use for the music and the videos. Gym memberships and coaches, like we pay for those as well, obviously, because we want to get better and stronger on the bikes.
To be honest, I just have Netflix so I can have it on in the background while I'm working.
Yeah,
so.
And it's only a £5 a month, so it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. Alright, moving down, we have another category, which is basically, this is probably the most expensive category for when it comes to expenses. Like, we've categorised this as living, so we'll just go through it. Coffee is the first one. So we spend quite a lot on coffee a month. We spend about £150 a month on coffee, which sounds a lot, but we tend to do a lot of our work from coffee shops, so you could almost like double that up and say that we're paying for like
a working space.
And it's a good environment. Most places have good Wi-Fi, a good vibe.
So it's similar to be other than the motorhome.
Yeah, I get a bit claustrophobic staying in all the time. Plus we both love coffee and cakes and tea, and so it's a win-win. Groceries, so food shopping, we pretty much just split the food shopping between us, and it comes out, we probably spend about £320 a month on groceries. So this doesn't include eating out, that's another category, but that's basically just, we spend about £80 a week on food, something like that.
Well, €60 in Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal's a bit cheaper.
We do 2 shops a week each, and our shop's usually about €30 per shop.
We don't skimp, do we? We haven't been eating meat as much recently. We've just been...
Meat's the expensive one.
It's quite expensive, but it's not too bad in Portugal, but we just sort of moved away. I wouldn't say we're vegetarian. Fuel is the next one, so that varies from month to month. We've just averaged out about £100 a month. If we've been parked up for somewhere, we're parked up here pretty much for a week, we obviously won't use any fuel at all, so it's obviously going to be quite cheap. But if we're travelling around, driving from the UK down to Portugal or somewhere else, it can get quite expensive because we're just pouring tanks of fuel into the motorhome just to drive places. But we've just averaged out about £100 as a good rough guideline if you want to live the lifestyle that we're currently living. You can do the next one.
Eating out, which you don't need to do, but we
need to do it.
We I guess to eat foods of a culture and date night. So that's we don't go out more than once a week really, unless we have to grab some food on the go. That's £160 a month if you go out, if that's for 2 people, if you go out once a week. And
about €40 a meal, so that's like a meal drink.
Ordering steak and lobster every meal.
Yeah, we're not ordering steak and well, you never know. Riding expenses. We've split riding and bike expenses up. Riding expenses we've put about £70 a month in for both of us. So that basically means if we decide to go and do an uplift day somewhere, or we put some fuel in the van to drive to go riding somewhere, that's all covered in this category of riding expenses. And then we've got another category called bike expenses. So this basically just covers us for parts breaking on bikes, replacing bits. And we've put about £25 in here, so it's usually just brake pads. We have a lot of the components supplied for us, which is great.
That's assuming nothing major breaks.
Nothing major breaks. But for now, touch wood, we've just had to buy the simple brake pads and chains and that sort of stuff. So obviously that'll fluctuate and stuff from month to month. But this is just a ballpark figure. Do you want to do this next one? This is your bit.
Go on then, tell them how much you spend on your food.
I spend £20 a month on my dog food. Yeah, so we spend about £20 a month for Kai on these big bags of dog food.
To be honest, Kai's food's a little cheaper out in Europe, but Kai's not on any fancy food. He's on a food that works for him because he has a lot of tummy problems.
So our living costs come to about £845 for the 3 of us every month.
Is that each or?
No, that's for both of us.
Wow.
We added all this up and we're I asked Amanda how much do you reckon it'll be? And she was like, it's definitely going to cost over £2,000 a month for us to live on the road. And we actually totted it all up and it came to a grand total of £1,152 for the 3 of us to live on the road, the lifestyle we're living at the minute. That's the minimum that we need to earn between us to make it sustainable. And obviously we do work on the road. Actually, I'll put a link somewhere to a video we did on this about how we earn our money on the road. I wouldn't say we skimp on, we're not trying to do it as cheap as possible or...
No, we enjoy ourselves. There's a lot of costs that we've said that you could go without.
Yeah, you could easily get this below $1,000 easy.
And that's for 2 people, so if you were going by yourself...
Oh yeah. If you're going by yourself, you could probably get this easily into the 3 figures instead of 4 figures.
Say if someone was wanted to go travelling for 3 months, I reckon if one person saved up about $500 per month for being on the road, so 3 months $1,500, and then obviously tot up however much their bills at home that they have to leave, rent and stuff, for 3 months, and add that on, and that's probably what you'd get for how much you'd need to save for that long on the road.
I would always add on top of I would always add on top of this figure. I've always had this rule whenever I go travelling or whatever, I'm saving up to do something or budgeting for something, I'd always work it out and add 10% to that as a buffer just in case something did go wrong or whatever. So even this grand total we have here, 1,152, if you add 10% to that, it's only another £150 or whatever. It's not really that much in the grand scale of things.
I was just thinking, say if someone was watching this thinking how much they need to save to go on the road for 3 months.
That's the fire department.
No, it's the lunchtime.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Look, it's exactly 1 o'clock. That's the alarm that tells people it's lunchtime in the factories and stuff. So if someone wanted to go away travelling for 3 to 6 months.
If you were a solo traveller and you wanted to go away for 6 months, so we're going to say it's about £700 per month to live as one person for just the expenses. Times 700 by 6.
So that's 4,200.
Yeah, this isn't including like bills like existing bills you've already got. So yeah, we didn't account for any of that.
Say if you have.
Everyone's different though, because I don't have any.
No, but I'm going to go on a cheap rent. Like maybe some people are paying $250 per month rent. Usually the bills, like council tax and everything, they just say rule of thumb is to just to double your rent to figure out what your bills might be. So that's $500 a month. If you had a house and bills that you need to keep sort of paying for 6 months. So if you wanted to go away for 6 months while still paying rent and bills at home, assuming that you don't have anything else on finance, so assuming you're gonna like either like saw on your car and put it off road, then £7,200 would get you away from home
for 6 months. £7,920 with a 10% room for margin.
And it's good. And if you don't have rent and things to pay for,
oh, if you don't have like we're in the lucky position that we don't have any ties at home. We don't have a house. We have a
couch.
Amanda's paying for a few things on finance, but
I'm still paying for my couch.
Other than that, we don't have a house to keep going or anything like that. So if you're in that scenario, obviously the monthly expenses will be a lot lower.
To add, you got to learn how to be an optimist, opportunist. When you live on the road, if someone offers you a shower, I think it's a very English culture to say, oh no, you'll manage, and not say yes to things. You're supposed to politely decline when they're offered. But when you're living in a motorhome, you can't do that. You just have to trust that you'll be able to give back in some way, or at some point in time, whether it's not right away in the future, you might be able to offer someone else a room for the night or food or anything. Always say yes if you're offered something, if it's what you would actually really like, because it makes living a lot easier.
Hope you enjoyed the video. That's pretty much how much it costs us three to live this lifestyle on the road. Now we're going to go and be some tourists and
we're going to go for a walk through the palace.
Walk up a mountain.
Oh, he's going. He's going to the mountain.
That is the end of that.